Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Welcome to Mathematics with Shahab Yaqub. So now the initiative that I've taken is that we have to go over the major topics of O-level math. Almost every topic is a major topic. You cannot underestimate anything. And for this purpose, what we do is that let me focus on something that is kind of the beginning of the syllabus and the syllabus changes. So let me focus on that. Now, when we talk about the syllabus changes, you people are the first one who will be giving the paper in May, June 2024, 25, not 24. And there are some changes to the syllabus. Let me go over that. The first change, that is the two papers, the non-calculator and the calculator version, they are of equal length. Second thing, equal length of time, equal marks. It's a combination of structured and unstructured question. And then there is a formula sheet. That formula sheet is part and parcel of the paper. And what is the formula sheet about? The formula sheet is about area of triangle, area of circle, circumference, curved surface area of a cylinder, curved surface area of a cone, a surface area of a sphere, and then it's about prism, pyramid, cylinder, cone, sphere, quadratic. For triangle, it's about sine rule, cosine rule, half AB sine C. So something that you people are used to, but it's good that they have given this formula sheet so that no one loses marks just because they cannot remember. So everything is given over here. Now, there are few things that we should be well aware of. That is, if I talk about a plot of a graph should have the points clearly marked. This is exact. For example, a small crosses and must be drawn on graph paper or squared paper. Cover a given range of values by calculating the coordinates. So equation is given and then you calculate something. Connecting them appropriately. Where values are given, it will include enough points to determine a curve. Where a table of values is not provided, the candidate must decide on the appropriate number of points to determine the curve. And we will see when we will go over graphical solution of equation. Have each point plotted to an accuracy of within half of the smallest square of the grid. In short, just put the dot with a cross as accurately as possible. As compared to a plot, when we talk about a sketch, what is a sketch? And sketch of a graph does not have to be accurate or to scale. Neither does it need to be on a graph paper or a squared paper. But let me add something from my perspective. It has to be realistic. It has to give you the general idea. It has to be drawn freehand. Show the most important features. It could be x-intercept, y-intercept, turning points, symmetry with coordinates or values marked on the axes where appropriate. So the main features should be there and it should be realistic. Have labeled axes with x and y. Interact with the axes properly by intersecting or by tending towards. That means it would either be intersecting the x-axis, it would be reaching towards the x-axis but not touching it. Fall within the correct quadrants. When we use the word quadrant, so when we draw the y-axis and when we draw the x-axis, that's the first quadrant, that is the second quadrant, that is the third, that is the fourth. We label it anti-clockwise and we should know exactly where the graph is falling. Show the correct long-term behavior. That means if it's approaching the x-axis like this, it would go like this. Approaching the y-axis, it could go like this. Graph that extend as far as possible across any given grid within any constraints of the domain. Domain is the input value, the x values. Where graphs of functions are linear, they should be ruled. Non-linear, the point should be joined by smooth curve. Ruled, that means joined by a straight line. That means these points are there, they should lie on that. And if it's a curve, it should be a smooth curve. You will know when to draw it smooth based upon the idea of the sketch, and that we will study in algebra. That is why there are 3 classes of algebra, because algebra has a lot of topics in it, so has numbers. The tangent to the curve should touch a tangent to the curve should touch the curve at the required point and be in contact with the curve for the minimum possible distance. We will talk about that later. It should not cross the curve at the point where it's a tangent. Let me just give you the idea over here. For example, if the curve is like this, and let's say the tangent is like this, that means at this point it's a tangent. So it's the minimum possible distance that it's a tangent for, and the gradient of the tangent to the curve at any point is the gradient of the curve. That is when we will be estimating the gradient. Values should be read off the graph within half of the smallest square on the grid. Ignore this technicality, just focus on getting the best possible thing. When we draw the curve, this inclination should be the same so that it's a balanced tangent. Now, what about this? If candidates are asked to show their working, they cannot gain full marks without clearly communicating the method, even if the final answer is correct. This is something very, very important. Show all essential working. Everything needs to be shown. A numerical answer should not be given as a combination of fractions and decimals. 1 over 0.2 is not acceptable. That means 1 over 0.2 is 1 over 1/5, which comes out to be 5. The reciprocal of 1/5 is 5. So it should either be written in decimals or fraction, but not a combination of both. What about the level of accuracy? Because all these things are necessary when you get started with O-level math. And naturally, this will transfer into AS level maths. It will transfer into A level maths. It will transfer into university level maths and other subjects wherever accuracy is required. So accuracy is something very, very important. Answers are expected to be given in the simplest form unless the question states otherwise. For example, the answer is coming out to be 1 over 2. And they say give the answer in decimals. So 1 over 2 will be written as 0.5. Where a question asks for exact values, the answer may need to be given in terms of pi or in surd form, depending on the question. So now that's how it should be given, in terms of pi or in the surd form. What do we mean by the surd form? The square root. Where answers are not exact values, they should be given to 3 significant figures unless a different level of accuracy is specified in the question. What does it mean? Your answer is 7.9857. It's not coming out to be exact. Life is not exact. So then final answer should be given correct to 3 significant figures, and the working should be in 4 significant figures. Now let me just pause the recording as I'm receiving a call. So let me just hold for it. So now we were talking about this thing, that we are either talking about the exact form or in terms of pi. Where answers are not exact, they should be given to 3 significant figure, therefore work in 4 significant figures. Minimum. That is the thing. Answers that are exact to 4 or 5 significant figures should not be rounded off unless the question states otherwise. That means if I divide 1 over 8, now grab your calculator and divide 1 divided by 8, I think it comes out to be 0.125. Well, this is 3 significant figures, so this would work. But something given to 4 significant figures, if it's exact, just stop the working over there. It does not need to be round off. In order to obtain an answer correct to the appropriate degree of accuracy, a higher degree of accuracy will often be needed within the working. Already said so. If a question asks to prove or show a given answer to a specified degree of accuracy, candidates must show full working. intermediate answers, and the final answer to at least a degree of accuracy more than that asked for. And then we will be working with that. So I think this is the main thing. Then there are certain things about command words, and Cambridge pays a lot of emphasis on this. When the word calculate is used, that means work out from the given facts, figures of information, construct accurate drawing, determine, establish with certainty. Calculate and determine almost is the same thing. Describe, state the point of a topic, given characteristics and main features. It's a circle with this center, with this radius. That is what the description is. Explain, set out purposes or reason, make the relationship between the things clear, say why and how, and support with relevant evidence. Give, produce an answer from a given source or recall a memory. Give the relationship between radius and tangent. So we would say radius is perpendicular to tangent at the point of contact. Plot, mark points on a graph, show that, provide structured evidence that leads to given result. Sketch, make a simple freehand drawing showing the key features. State, express in clear terms, something very obvious. Something very, very obvious. Work out, calculate from the given facts, figures or information with or without using the calculator. So work out is something like calculate. Write, give an answer in a specific form. Write down, give an answer without significant working. Now we have gone over this thing and we will go over it later also. So let me just focus on this thing. That is this one right over here. That is, we are starting with this session, which is of numbers. And when we talk about this first thing, so numbers, this is the copy from the syllabus. What things are included in numbers? Now, let me just go to my WhatsApp group, and I hope it's all good, all clear. So now some people are messaging me right now, which I cannot see because I'll be focusing on one group only. So all good, all clear till now. Okay, I'll just wait for this thing. Okay, let me just share this thing. Okay, now, so the recording is still on, and let it be, doesn't make a difference. Yes, pause, stop recording. Okay. Now, when we talk about numbers, and let me just reduce the brightness from here also. Okay. So the very first thing is the type of numbers. We are talking about natural numbers, we are talking about integers, prime, square, cube, common factors, common multiples, rational and irrational numbers, reciprocals. And we will see all these things when we are doing the questions. Set notation. This is considered part of the number. So this is sets and Venn diagram. Powers and roots. So we are talking about squares, square roots, cubes, cube roots, other power and roots of numbers. Let me focus on this thing first. If I say 2 raised to power of 4, that is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, that is 16. That means the fourth root of 16, I can write it like this. That is 16 raised to power of 1/4. That is 2 raised to power of 4 raised to power of 1/4, which is 2 raised to power of 1, which makes sense. 2 raised to power of 4 is 16. 16 raised to power of the reciprocal is 2. So let me write over here. 2 raised to power of 4 is 16. Therefore, 16 raised to power of the reciprocal is 2. So this is a bit of indices that I talked about. We can talk about fractions, decimals, percentages, proper fraction, improper, mixed number, decimal, percentages, conversion, recurring decimal. I have made a video, explain everything in great detail over there. So watch that video. Recognize equivalence and convert between these forms. Of course, that's part and parcel. We'll be looking at these things. Ordering. Order quantities by magnitude and demonstrate familiarity with the symbol equal, not equal, greater, lesser, greater than or equal, lesser than or equal. The 4 operations, BODMAS, BODMAS, bracket of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Includes negative numbers, improper fraction, mixed numbers, practical situation, temperature changes. One of the most favorite thing of the students. People make a lot of mistake in this. Now, indices is divided into 2 parts. They have put half of the indices in numbers, arithmetic, that's another name for numbers, half of the indices in algebra. So now, understand and use indices, positive, zero, negative, fraction. Let me write down the rules over here. A raised to power of 0 is 1. A raised to power of 1 is the number itself. A raised to power of m into a raised to power of n. If the bases are the same, the powers add up in multiplication. In division, a power m divided by a power n, that is a m minus n. And then let me talk about something like this, a power m, b power m. Now the powers are the same, the bases could be same, could be different, doesn't make a difference. That is ab raised to power of m. A power m divided by b power m, that is a over b raised to power of m. A raised to power of negative m, it's 1 over a raised to power of m. A over b, that's a big A, let me make it smaller. A over b raised to power of negative m, that is b over a raised to power of positive m. Very, very important. Basically, a raised to power of negative m is 1 over a raised to power of m. A raised to power of negative m is 1 over a raised to power of m. And b was in the denominator, it goes in the numerator, the minus becomes a plus. Standard form, something very important. Estimation, round values to a specified degree of accuracy. This is estimation and limits of accuracy, that is upper bound, lower bound. Let me just go back to estimation first. Round values to a specified degree of accuracy includes decimal places and significant figures. Make estimates for calculations involving number, quantities, and measurements. Round answers to a reasonable degree of accuracy in the context of a given problem. So this is basically the name originally. I like that name. This is called estimation and approximation. It's not just estimation, it's estimation and approximation. Limits of accuracy, upper bound, lower bound, and use it for calculation. I'll just read very, very shortly. Ratio and proportion. I think the light is a little bit lesser. So now this is ratio and proportion. Understand and use ratio and proportion to give ratios in the simplest form, something like this. Divide a quantity in a given ratio. Use proportional reasoning and ratios in context. Adapt recipes, use map scales, determine best value. We will see all these questions. Rates. Common measure of rates, hourly rates of pay, exchange rate between currencies, flow rates, volume with respect to time, fuel consumption. pressure, density, population density, average speed, knowledge of speed, distance, time formula is required. All these things, this will be used over here. Also, we will study this with coordinate geometry and kinematic speed, time graphs and all these things. Again, percentages are there. First, we talked about percentages over here. That is fractions and decimals and percentages. That's kind of the conversion thing. And now we are talking about percentages. Here it is. Calculate the given percentage of a quantity, express one quantity as a percentage of the other, percentage increase, decrease, simple and compound interest, that's also part of percentage, calculate using reverse percentage. And then we talk about deposit, discount, profit, loss, earning, percentages over 100, and so on, cost price, selling price, profit, loss, something like that. Using a calculator, enter values appropriately, interpret the calculator display. I mean, that is something basic, but that's how it is. Time, conversion, seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, including the relationship between units, the 24-hour clock and the 12-hour clock, read clocks and timetable, different time zones, money, calculate with money, currency to the other, exponential growth and decay. I'll also make a separate video on this in order to make you understand this thoroughly. Surds, that is the square root thing. Rationalizing is also part of that, and I think I've already made a video on this. So now that is the syllabus, and I think it's time that we get started with this. So now what I've done is that I have focused on 2 years. That is 2023 and 2022. I took out questions from there. I have arranged it year by year. First paper ones of 2023 and 2022. So basically I've started with this. That is May, June 2023. And we are talking about the variant 1-1. And then there are some questions, and then variant 1-2 and 2-1 and 2-2 and so on, and 2022 like that. So let's look at these. Now, if I look at this question, work out 1234.4 divided by 8, and let me just focus on one of the thing, that is 2023. And I have solved this last year, when we were solving the paper and everything, last year, 15th April. And we are talking about all this thing. So now let me show you, and in some of that, I'll be looking at this working to save time. So now I'll get started with this. 1234 divided by 8. Now, what are the different ways of doing it? It's for 1 mark. Now, first of all, what I can do is that in order to make you understand from the basic, this is 1000 plus 200 plus 34 plus 0.4, and this is divided by 8. Basically, this is what is happening. 1234.4 divided by 8. If I add these two, that is 1200 plus 34 plus 0.4 divided by 8. So if I divide 1200 by 8, how much is that? So that is, let me write over here, 1200 by 8. That is 4 into 300. And this is 4 into 2. And that comes out to be 150. So this part is 150. If I take 34 and 0.4, can I write this thing as 32 plus 2 plus 0.4 divided by 8? Yes, I can. So 32 over 8, that is 4. So this is 150. 150, the line is gone. Let me just check this thing. Okay, so now this is like this. This is 150 plus 32 over 8, that is 4, And now we are left with 2.4. So 2.4 divided by 8, that is 0.3. 24 divided by 8 is 3. 2.4 divided by 8 is 0.3. So 150 plus 4 plus 0.3, that is 154.3. That is the answer for this particular part. Now someone can carry out that long division. They can work out this way. I prefer to do it this way. Let me show you the working. So this is 2023. Last year, this is what I've done. First of all, my working in this black paper versus that white paper is different. What I did is that first of all, I wrote this thing 1, 2, 3, 4.4 divided by 8. I moved a decimal, I added a 0. 12,000 plus 300 plus 44 divided by 80. That's the working. 154.3, that is the answer. So now two different ways of working out the same thing. Let me just cancel from here and let me add over here. So this is like this. Okay. All good, all clear? That's the first one. So this thing is done. The next one. 3/7 of 56. Of means multiplication. 3 over 7 into 56. 7 ones are, 7 eights are, 3 eights are 24. That's the answer. Now, when we talk about 1 mark answer, there are no partial credits. So now, first of all, the minimum mark for any part is 1 mark. There are no fractional marks. There are no half, no quarter, nothing like that. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, what fraction, write down the fraction of this 3 by 3 square that is shaded. Now, how do we do this? This is just like estimation. Now, this is a full square. This is 1 square. And this one is like half a square. This one is also like half a square. All good? This one over here, this thing, it can be translated over here. Got the idea? So this can be flipped over here. So this half and half is 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 3 out of 9 squares. Altogether, there are 9 squares. So 3 over 9 is 1/3, and it is necessary that you write the answer on this dotted line. It is necessary. Now, this particular question, is everyone clear on this? So, this is the 3 by 3 question. Is this all good, all clear? I just need a thumbs up from you. Okay, thank you. The next one, evaluate 0.5 square. Now, it is up to us. When do we want to work in fractions? When we want to work in decimals? That's entirely up to us. Let me just open up one other light so that I'm more visible to you. I think this is better. So now when we talk about this 0.5 square, so 0.5 is half. I'll square half. Half square, that is 1/4. I'll simply write 1/4. I can also write 0.25. Instead of multiplying in decimal, I prefer to choose fractions. Insert one set of brackets to make the calculation correct. One single bracket. If I multiply, put a bracket over here, 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 into 2 is 16, 16 minus 7 is 9. So my idea worked, so the bracket goes over here. If it did not happen, I would have put it over here. Maybe I would have put it over here and then worked it out by trial and error. Insert plus minus multiplication to make the calculation correct. I need a 20. 3 into 5 is 15. 15 minus 2 is 13. Okay. 3 into 5 is 15. 15 minus 2 is 13. 13 plus 7 is 20. And that is how this next thing is done. Temperature. Here are 5 temperatures. Write down the temperature in order from the coldest to the hottest. So the coldest should be the negative one. The hottest should be the positive ones. And maybe if they all are negative, the most negative is the coldest. So remember this, most negative is the coldest. And most positive is the hottest. Now it says the coldest. Which one is the smallest one? The smallest one is negative 21. The next one is negative 18. The next one is negative 10. The next one is negative 2. The next one is 17. 1 mark for this. If I just make one single error, I would be losing all the marks. Again, there are no half marks. So be very, very careful. Paper 1 is about patience. 2 hours is a lot of time. You can comfortably finish the paper in 1.5 hours and sleep off, doze off for the next half an hour. Provided you have a clarity, you can think clearly, you can write clearly. Work out the temperature that is 5 degrees colder than negative 18. It's more colder. So basically, if I draw a number line, this is negative 18. 5 degree even colder, go negative 5 because most negative is coldest. So therefore this is negative 23 degrees Celsius. That is the colder thing. A rope is cut into 2 pieces. Now this is ratios. 3:5:4. The length of the shortest piece is 180. Find the length of the longest piece. Now let me do this question in 2 ways. Method 1. Total length is L centimeters. 3 plus 5, 8 plus 4, 12. That means 3/12 of L. Let me write off. 3/12 of L is 180. 3/12 is 1/4. L is 180. Therefore, L is 4 times 180. 2 times 18 is 36. This is 720. This is the total length. Therefore, the longest piece, read the question, the longest piece belongs to 5. 5, 3 plus 5 plus 4 is 12. Based upon this, we calculated the ratio. 5/12 of 720 is what we are looking for. So 12 ones are 12, 6 are, add a 0. 5 into 6 is 300. Therefore, the answer is 300 centimeter. Now, this is method 1. Let me do it through method 2. Method 2 is, what can I do this? Let me say, ratio, I'm just short of numbers, what to write? Actual and kind of ratio. 3 is the smallest. 3 represents 180. 5 is the largest. 5 represents our longest. No, instead of L, let me write M. 3 is to 180. 3 becomes 180. 5 becomes M. So now this is direct proportionality. So therefore this is direct. So 3 into M, like this. That's 5 into 180. 3 into M, it's 5 into 180. Therefore 3M equals to 5 into 180 divided by 3. Therefore, 3 ones are 360s are 5 into 60 is 300 centimeters was already written. So now I did it using two methods. Method 1, it's your choice. Method 1, the tick mark, and method 2, the circle. Which one do you like the most? There are two different ways because this will set two different ideas. One is based upon ratio, the other is kind of based upon algebra. So tick mark whichever one you like the most. I already know the answer. Usually people like a particular method more. Someone said, can you explain it again? Yes, I can. Okay, question 8. Yes, this is 8. Okay, let me explain it again. It's good that you all are interested and taking an active part in asking questions. A rope is cut into 3 pieces with limits in the with length in the ratio 3:5:4. So 3 plus 5 plus 4, that is 12. That means if I write it like this, and they are also asking the total length of the rope, give your answer in meters. That will be coming up later. So when we talk about short, medium, and large, so that is 3, 4, 5. This is 3, this is 4, this is 5. That's in this ratio. That means the fraction representing short is 3/12. This is 4/12. This is 5/12. So if I talk about method 1, 3/12 of the total length is 180. 1/4 of L is 180. 3/12 is 1/4. And L comes out to be 720. It's in centimeters. Longest piece is 5/12. 5/12 of 720 is 300. That is method 1. Method 2, the ratio value, the actual value. 3 corresponds to 180. 5 corresponds to M. So 3M is 5 into 180. M comes out to be this. So now we have this piece. Let me ask this question. That is over here. If they ask for the length of the medium piece, so medium, that is 4/12. So 4/12, this is ratio, this is actual, 3 corresponds to 180, 4 corresponds to M, or let me write some other value, N. So 3 into N, that equals to 4 into 180. Therefore, N is 4 into 180 divided by 3. 3 ones are 360s are 460s are 240. Therefore, the total length is the length of all pieces. That is 180 plus 240 plus 300. That comes out to be 720 centimeters. Divide by 100. That is 7.2 meters. And over here, I already knew the answer of length. That is 7.2 meters. So now I hope it's all good, all clear. So the result is as follows. 20 people, they loved method 2. Only 1 person loved method 1. I knew the answer would be so overwhelmingly to one side because people find this to be very, very direct. But this is also a very good method because it's working in terms of the total length. All good, all clear? Now let's talk about question number 10. It says work out 1/3 into 8/9. So couldn't we just use the method of part A, part A, method 1 to solve part B? Of course we can. That is what I'm showing it over here. We can. Work out 1/3 into 8/9. Give your answer as a mixed number in its simplest form. 1/3, it's 4/3 into 8/9. So 4 8s are 32. 3 into 9 is 27. 32 over 27, the thing would be 1. And the difference between 32 and 27 is 5, and this is 27. So just double check. This is 27 into 1 plus 5, that is 32 over 27. So 1, 5 over 27. Let's talk about this. Kate has a bunch of grapes. She ate 1/4 of the grapes in the morning, 2/3 in the afternoon. Grapes she has not eaten. So the grape that she ate, that is 1/4 plus 2/3. And let me also solve this thing in two different ways. Method 1, the usual LCM, 4 and 3, that is 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 into 1 is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 into 2 is 8. That is 11 over 12. Therefore, how much is left? 1 minus 11 over 12. That is again LCM 12. 12 minus 11 over 12, which is 1 over 12, which is 1 over 12. Method 2. Method 2, it's nothing special except 1/4 can be written as and 2/3 can be written as. Over here, the LCM, because of 3 and 4, that's 12. So multiply by 3, that is 3 over 12. 1/4 is the same thing as 3 over 12. 3 becoming 12, multiply by 4, so that becomes 8 over 12. They have the same denominator. So 3 over 12 plus 3, 8 over 12, that is 11 over 12. 1 minus 11 over 12, that's 12 over 12 minus 11 over 12, which is 1 over 12. Your choice. Again, just giving you the ideas. Something to do with standard form. Now, when we talk about standard form, in order for addition and subtraction, the powers of 10 must be the same, so that common can be taken, so that you can take common. All good? The mass of the planet, the mass of the planet Saturn is 5.7 into 10 to the power 26. So this is 5.7 into 10 to the power 26. The mass of planet Venus is 4.9 into 10 to the power 24. Calculate the difference. So it's about subtraction. Now just hold for a second. There are two varieties in this one. Why? Because which number should we be dealing with? Should we be dealing with 10 power 26 or 10 power 24? So let me write both the things. Method 1. Work in smaller power of 10. And method 2 naturally will be work in larger power of 10. When we work in smaller power of 10, so this will remain as it is. What should I do with this? 5.7 into 10 to the power 24 into 10 to the power 2. Can I write it like this? 26 is 24 plus 2. If I take this, that is 5.7 into 10 power 2, that is 5.7 into 100 into 10 to the power 24. That is 57, 570 into 10 to the power 24. That is the first thing. Now I can use these. I can find the difference That is 570 into 10 to the power 24 minus 4.9 into 10 to the power 24. 10 to the power 24 is common. 570 minus 4.9. How much is that? 570 minus 5. That is 565. 565.1. 565.1 into 10 to the power 24. But we know that in the standard form, a times 10 to the power n, where a lies between 1 and lesser than 10, right? Am I correct? So if I am correct, that means this one won't work. I need to change it. I need to shift the zeros 1 unit, 2 unit this way. So therefore, I'll write this thing as 5.655 into 10 to the power 2 into 10 to the power 24, which is 5.655 into 10 to the power 26. I want you to pay attention to this particular question. Have a good look at this. Let me just remove my screen from here to here. Okay. Now, I hope you can see it more clearly. What have I done? I am working in smaller power of 10. So this remains as it is. This one was broken up 26, that's 24 into 2, 24, 24. This 2, that's 100. We multiplied, we got 570. The difference is 570 minus 4.9. This is bigger, this is smaller, this is taken common out. This is 565.5, but we want a to be between these two. So therefore, that is 5.655 into 100. This 10 power 2, 10 power 24 adds up. This is 10 power 26, and that's the answer. So now let me write standard form, lower power thing, lower power method. That's the first one. Is it all good? Have you understood it? Then I'll go to the higher power method. So let me just go this way. Okay, this is better. Okay. Now let's see if the other method is more better. Let's see. Work in larger powers. So 5.7 into 10 to the power 26, leave it as it is. That is 5.7 into 10 to the power 26. This is all good. 4.9 into 10 to the power 24. 4.9 into 10 to the power 24. What should I do? I should make it 26. Can I write this thing as, let me shift this thing over here. So therefore, and one more thing over here, 0.049 into 100 into 10 to the power 24. Does it make sense? If I move 1 decimal, 2 decimal, that is this 100. These two would be the same. And this is 10 to the power 24. Now I got 2 zeros from here by reducing this thing. So this is 0.049 into 10 to the power 2 into 10 to the power 24. That is 0.049 into 10 to the power 26. Got it? We are working in higher power, larger power. So this is smaller, this is larger. Now when I calculate the difference, that is 5.7 into 10 power 26 minus 0.049 into 10 to the power 0.049, 10 to the power 26. 10 to the power 26 is taken common out. 5.7 minus 0.049. So now this is 5. Let me do it on the corner. 5.7. This is 0.049. This is 5.700. So when you do the subtraction, you get that thing 5.655. This is 4.9. Let me just check one thing. Let me just make one small correction over here. Hold for a second. I think the subtraction was not correct. So 570 minus 4, that is 570 minus this thing, 565.1. So this is 565.1. I think I wrote it 0.5 by mistake. 56.651. So that is 5.651 into this thing. Similarly, this is 5.651. So this is 5.651 into 10 to the power 26. Now, let me look at the questions that people have asked. Can you explain this question again, the second part? Okay. The power indicates how many zeros we have to add into the number, right? Okay, yes. Okay, now have a look at it. Both methods has their own merits and demerits. Which one is better? Let me explain that. Now let me start from the beginning. The first method is about working in smaller, lower powers. So this one is about lower power. When we talk about lower power, we fix this thing. That is this, 10 to the power 24. We work this out. 5.7 into 10 power 24. I wrote 10 power 26 as 10 power 24, 10 power 2. Why I wrote 10 power 24? Because there is 10 power 24 over here. 10 power 2 is 100. So I multiplied by 100. When we multiply the zeros, it moves to the right. So that is 57 with 1 0 and another 0 with this thing. So it's 570 into 10 to the power 24. Then I do the subtraction. This subtraction is easier. Why it is easier? Because you are dealing with big numbers, so it's easier. 570 minus 5, that is 565. Because of this 0.1, you added a 0.1. And then you have to do this adjustment, which is right over here. That is, you are taking this decimal. So you are taking this decimal and you are shifting it over here. So basically now you are writing 1 and 2. So that is 5.65 into 10 to the power 2. So basically you use this up. Now you're using it again. Now this has to lie between 1 and 10. 10 is not inclusive. 10 power 2, 10 power 24 is 10 power 26. This is the lower power method. This thing over here, the higher power method, this is good in one sense and not good in the other. I left it as it is. I'm working with 4.9 into 10 power 24. Now I cannot take power from here. I have to create powers from here, powers of 10. So 0.049 into 100, that is 1 into 4.9 itself. So I made it lesser because I grabbed 100 out of that. So this is 0.049 into 100. 100 is 10 power 2, 10 power 2, 10 power 24, 10 power 26. This is 0.049. Now when I do the subtraction, this subtraction is kind of tricky for some people. So therefore, personally, I want to work in the lower power. Even though I have to do the adjustment at the end, but this working is simpler because this is paper 1. So there is method 1. There is method 2. And this is higher power. So which one do you find easier? I think that's your choice. It's not a matter of right and wrong. So what we are learning today is that different methods of solving questions which are related with numbers, and we will see it throughout the course. So I'll try my best to do a 3-year course. Actually, some people start from grade 6, some people start from grade 7. So 5 or 6-year course is little time, in as little time as possible. So let's hope for the best. This is upper bound, lower bound, but slightly trickier. So therefore, I'm just skipping this for right now. There will be another class of numbers. I'll do that in that particular class. Now the second one. Work out something like this. So now 3.25 minus 1.73. How should I work it out? Now, what I can do is that let me write 3.25 as 325 over 100. 1.73 is 173 over 100. Let me do the subtraction of 173 becoming 200 becoming 325. So 173 till 200, that's 27. This is 125. 125 plus 27, 150, 152. So this is 152 over 100. This is 1.52. That's one way. Some people, they can work it like this: 1.73 into 2.00 into 3.25. So this is 0.27. This is 1.25. 1.25 plus 0.27, this is 1.52. So again, two different methods. I think I just love new methods. 1.2 square. 1.2 can be written as 12 over 10 into 12 over 10. 12 into 12, 144. 10 into 10, 100. 144 over 100, 1.44. Okay, all good, all clear. Let me just check the WhatsApp. I think some people ask this question: why do we have to adjust in method 1? Because of this. A lies between 1 and 10. It has to be greater than or equal to 1. It can be 1, but it has to be lesser than 10. And there is this thing. Okay, so I think it's all set. Okay, so now let's move ahead. Write these numbers in order of size starting with the smallest. So I just need to get some water to drink. So I'll ask you to try out this question for 2 minutes. The number of marks is number of minutes. Try it out and then I'll show you the solution. Let me pause the recording. So now the question says, write these 5 numbers in order of size starting with the smallest value. This is a decimal, can be converted into percentage, or percentage can be converted to decimals. This is already in decimals. 11 over 20 and 5 over 8. Now what I can do is that let me multiply it out. So let me choose this 11 over 20. 11 over 20 into 5 into 5, 5 11s are 55, 5 into 20 is 100. So this is 0.55. This is already 0.595. This is 0.62. This is 0.65. The only thing left is this thing, which is 5 over 8. Now 5 over 8, that is what? That is, can I convert it into 100? Or let me just work it out. 5 inside, 8 outside. A point, 0. 8 6 are 48. A 2 comes. Let's add a 0. So 8 2s are 16. A 4 comes. Let's add a 0. 8 5s are this thing. So that is 0.625. This is 0.625. Now choose which one is the smallest. So the smallest is, I think, 0.55. Write the original one. Write the original one. So that is 11 over 20. So remove this thing. Write this thing as 11 over 20 because these are the numbers that is given. So 0.55 is used up. The next one is 0.595. That is the original thing. 595, that is this thing. Next one is 62%, that is 0.62. Next one is 0.625, which is 5 over 8. Biggest one is 0.65. That is the answer for this particular part. All good, all clear? Now, another question. At midday, the temperature is 8 degrees Celsius. At midnight, the temperature is 12 degrees Celsius lower. So therefore, 8 minus 12, it's getting reduced. That comes out to be negative 4 degrees Celsius. Shazia records the temperature at 6 a.m. This is basically for stats, but since it just appeared, let's solve it out. Shazia records the temperature at 6 a.m. every day for 1 week. Find the median. For median, arrange it in ascending order, starting with the lowest. So negative 7 is there, negative 5 is there. Let me just write it like this. So negative 7 is there. I have used this, and then negative 5. Is there any other negative? Yes, there is negative 2. Then there is negative 1. I've used 4 of them. And then 257. 255, not 57, 255. So it's 255. Okay. So there are 7 days. This is the middle value. So the median is negative 1. 3 values below, 3 values above, the middle value, the mid value, that is the median. Find the range. That is highest value minus lowest value. What is the highest value? 5. What is the lowest value? 7. 5 minus 7, that comes out to be 12. So this is 12. Okay, something with interest, simple interest. So the formula for simple interest, I is equals to P R T over 100. Remember, if the rate is per annum or per year, that means the time period also has to be in year. That is a must. And this formula is for simple interest, and it will only give you the interest value. You can add the principal amount separately. Now this is a paper 1 question. Maya invests $480 at a rate of 2% per year simple interest. Calculate the total amount she receives. They are asking for total. First we will find the interest only at the end of 5 years. Principal amount 480, rate 2%, interest, the time period 5 years, and this 100 is already there for this percentage. That's already taken care of. So I is equals to P 480 into 2 into 5 divided by 100. Cancel of 2 into 5 is 10. Cancel off a 0. And then cancel off this 0 with this 0. So what are you left with? Interest is 48. Effortless working. Principal amount is 480. So total is principal plus interest. That is 480 plus 48. 480 plus 50, that is 530. Subtract a 2. 528 is the unit given. Yes, that is in dollars. All good, all clear? Let me just check. That I'm not debating right now. Is it a long method or not a long method? That is the most basic formula that you use. PRT over 100, just multiply that out. And it's for 5 years. And everything is there. And then you add the principal amount to the interest. Next number, something basic, estimation. Let's focus on this. So in estimation, estimate the value. And we are talking by writing each number correct to one significant figure. Now I would like you people to first try it out. Let me pause the recording. Now it says by writing each number correct to one significant figure. Now 18.2, this is first significant figure, second significant figure, third significant figure. So this is the decision maker. 18, is 18 closer to 10 or closer to 20? What is it closer to? It's closer to 20. So let me choose 20. What about 0.395? This is first significant figure, second significant figure, third significant figure. The decision maker is the second significant figure. 0.39. 0.39, is it closer to 0.3? Is it closer to 0.4? It's closer to 0.4. So therefore, we will write 18.3 cube, that is 20 cube. That is 20 into 20 into 20 divided by 0.4. So now 20 into 20 into 20, that is, write this thing as 400. Write this thing as 20. Write this thing as 0.4. 400 over 0.4, isn't that 4,000 over 4 into 20? Yes, it is. So 4,000 over 4 is 1,000 into 20. That comes out to be 2,000. Now just have a good look at the working and then let me know, does it make sense? So estimation, this method, okay. Okay, now people, it's not always possible to check the final answer. Now, let me talk about something. Someone has given me this answer. They have made it more and then simplified. That's perfectly right. They have done 20 cube and then simplified. Someone has done the same thing. Okay. And it's 20. Yeah, a 0 is missing. I have written a 0 over there. Yes, that's all good, all clear. That thing is there. Okay. So I think that's the basic thing. Okay. This thing LCM HCF for the next class, set notation for the next class. Now let me choose something. Now this thing, something to do with dollars and cents. So let me write over here. This is dollars and cents. Now it says Caie buys 12 apples. Each apple costs 65. Work out how much Caie pays. Give your answer in dollars. First, work in cents. Let me just double check. Have I resumed the recording? Yeah, it's already on. So first work in cents, then convert it to dollars. Now 12 into 65, that is 12 into 65, that is 10 plus 2 into 65. That is how I do it. 65 into 10. 65 into 10, 65 into 2. 65 into 10 is 650, 65 into 2 is 130. So 680, 780 cents, that is $7.80. All got, all clear? Another estimation, conversion, yeah. Now when we talk about conversion, if we talk about kilometers, meters, centimeters, millimeters. Remember this rule, kilometer to meter. Let me just make it like this, kilometer to meter, meter to centimeter, centimeter to meter, millimeter, millimeter to centimeter, centimeter to meter, and meter to kilometer. Okay. This is multiplied with 1,000. Multiplied with 100, multiplied with 10, divided by 10, divided by 100, divided by 1,000. Just remember this. Millimeter to centimeter. So now if I'm talking about millimeter to centimeter, that's division by 100. 78 millimeter is 7.8 centimeters. 3 meter square to centimeter square. When we talk about scales and maps, and in such a thing, when we have to do this conversion, 1 meter is 100 centimeter. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. If I square both sides, therefore 1 meter the whole thing square, that is 100 centimeter the whole thing square, therefore 1 meter square is 1 2 3 4 zeros centimeter squares. 3 meter square will be 3 into 1 2 3 4 zeros, therefore 1 2 3 4 zeros centimeter square. That is also the basic. So we talked about scales and map. I hope this is all good, all clear. Scales and maps, not exactly the same. Basically, we talk about conversion of units. All good. Just acknowledge. Let's move on. Something to do with indices. 4 to power 2 is cube root of 27. 4 power 2 is 16. Cube root of 27 is 3. 16 plus 3 is 19. 5 power negative 1, 5 power 3. Two methods. Method 1, use indices. 5 raised to power of 3 plus negative 1. 5 raised to power of 2. That is 25. Let me do method 2. That is 5 power negative 1 is 1/5. 5 power 3 is 5 power 3. 1/5 of 125, that is 25. Both methods are perfectly good. I prefer this method because it's involving indices. The diagram shows the position of two boats. One is to 20,000. Find the actual distance using, no, this is trigonometry. Let me ignore this. This is LCM HCF. Set notation. Okay, this one. The rectangle is split into two different sizes. Find the fraction of the rectangle that is shaded. So what we do is that, let me just break this up. So this is like a line like this. One line, two line. Let me draw vertical line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is there. 6 and 7. How many squares are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. This is basically a 3 by 7. So 3 into 7, that is 21 small squares. Out of which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are shaded. So the fraction that is shaded gray is 5 over 21. All good? Another ratio question. I would like you people to try this out. This particular ratio question. I'm pausing the record. Now it says Anna and Ria share some money in the ratio 5:9. So this is A, this is R. The ratio is 5:9. Ria receives $8 more than Anna. So I can work in terms of the total thing. Let me work it out. Method 1. Or let me just work with ratios. I think it will be direct. If I work in this ratio, if Ria receives $8 more than Anna, if she receives X, she receives X plus 8. I think that is better. So over here, I'll cross multiply like this. I'll cross multiply. 5 into X plus 8 is 9 into X. 5X plus 40 is 9X. And 9 minus 5 is 4X is 40. Therefore, X is 10. This is received by Anna. This is for Anna. And what's the name of the other girl? Ria. Ria receives 18, 8 more. Therefore, the total is 28. That is the working that I've done. Is this all good, all clear? Some people, they have this thing. Okay. One person has just messaged me, this working is too direct. Show the relationship, because if the examiner does not understand, it's too bad. Someone did it like this. No, I have doubts on this. Not clear. This one of the working that someone showed to me. So this thing is all good, all clear. Now, let me just copy this diagram and let me do it one other way. The total thing, if someone is interested in that. So then I have to work out the total, let it be T. So Anna, Ria, 5, 9, 5 and 9 is 14. So Anna receives 5 over 14 of T. Ria receives 9 over 14 of T. Who receives more? Ria. The difference is 9 over 14 T minus 5 over 14 T. This equals to $8. Make sense? The total is T. Anna is receiving 5 over 14 T. Ria is receiving 9 over 14 T. Ria receives $8 more. So therefore, the amount by Ria minus the amount by Priya, or sorry, not Priya, Anna, that equals to 8. 9 minus 5 is 4 over 14 T is equals to 8. T equals to 8 into 14 divided by 4. So 4 ones are, 4 twos are, 2 14, that comes out to be 28. Is this also a neat method? So now method 1 versus method 2. Which one is better? Method 1 is tick mark. Method 2 is thumbs up or a star. Now someone is asking this question, sir, what if we give comments or make data? Will this be correct then? Just in case I forget the ratio one. Maths is nothing to be forgotten. Don't worry, the way that I'm teaching you, it will inshallah be ingrained in your head. Don't worry about that. So now the voting is going on. 6 votes for method 1 and star. Where is the star? Method 2 or this thumbs up, that's the star. 3 votes for this thing. Okay, almost half enough, not bad. Okay, so now this is 8:40. Let's pause the recording over here. So this is end of lecture 1 of numbers. That's the first session. There is another session of numbers, inshallah, tomorrow. See you everyone in tomorrow's class. Take care. Allah Hafiz.